The Dieselgate cheating scandal is growing, spreading from Volkswagen to other car brands as well. And that has put into question the close links between the European car industry and politicians. And here in Brussels, the European Commission has come under fire for not reacting earlier despite warnings being made. Not only Volkswagen but also others like Audi, Skoda and Seat have been using an illegal software device to cheat emission tests. Around 11 million cars are affected. That emission tests done in laboratories were not at all corresponding to real emissions was known before. But that companies deliberately cheated was only revealed through an investigation in the US. That investigation started with a study from the International Council on Clean Transportation, ICCT. Greg Archer at the organization Transport and Environment, who worked with ICCT, says that not only American authorities were told about this suspicious cheating, but also the European Commission.
So they were aware of these suspect results around 18 months ago. The difference is in the US they investigated and found the cheating. But here in Europe, nothing happened with those results.
The reason, says Greg Archer, is that Europe doesn't have any proper testing system. ASEA, the car makers organization in Europe, have told Euranet Plus in a written statement that there is no evidence that this is an industry-wide problem. And they have said earlier that new tests will start early next year and that those will be done in more realistic environments. This is also the message from the European Commission. In a debate in the European Parliament last week, Joanna Szykovska, head of the DG Growth in the Commission, said that they knew about the differences between the lab test and the real emissions and that they are working to fix it.
So we have embarked on the work to come up with the so-called RDE package, which would exactly allow to make sure that cars which are put on the road, that their emissions limits are well reflected and therefore that the legislation is respected. We have been aware of this discrepancy and that's why this work has started.
Bas Eickhout, Green member of the Parliament, thinks the Commission has been dragging its feet. Already in 2007 it was given the assignment to deliver a real environment test. The reason it has taken 8 years is because of close ties between the car industry and EU member states and also a lot of lobbying in Brussels.
Why does it take this long? It's very clear that the car industry is trying to postpone and to delay the things, but also member states. Those countries having a car industry are also not the ones really pushing for new tests. So there is not really a pressure behind it. And therefore we were so angry. You have to make it more political, Commission. You have to make sure that this is your priority and push for it.
But simply a new test isn't enough. Both Bas Eickhout and Greg Archer call for an independent European control system. The Commission is looking into additional measures, but so far there are no plans for a European control agency. According to Greg Archer at Transport and Environment, the Commission is rather considering sharing information between member states and improving the way cars are recalled.
This is hopelessly inadequate. We have cheating on a huge scale by one of Europe's major automotive manufacturers, and the response of the Commission is to get the regulators to talk more to one another. This is completely hopeless.
Greg Archer thinks that more revelations will follow, and what we've seen so far is just the tip of an iceberg. But he also hopes that will make the European Commission and also EU member states to finally put in place measures to put an end to the cheating within the car industry.